and very muddy feet. She was often getting in trouble and got sent to the corner. And later on, she said if she had a home, it would be a circular home with no corners at all. And this little girl, she didn't know her gifts, but she could see everyone else's gifts. She could see her siblings, musicians, and all the gifts of, well, all those around. But she didn't quite know her gifts. She knew she really couldn't sit still very well. Well, one day, on a very hard time in life, it was 2020, it was Christmas Eve in 2020, and things seemed to just be getting harder and harder for this girl. And all at once, so many things happened. Her partnership broke up, she got snowed in, and then she got a big sickness. And there she was, and it was Christmas, and she just wanted to drive in her car. She was so afraid in the car to see her mom, but she had to stay put for maybe 9 days. And it was a hard time for all around her, many in silence and in isolation. So she thought, well, she would just sit. And she remembered the last time she had sat for 9 days in Bapasta and almost drove herself mad, walking between the edge of knowing she could leave, but she sat in silence. And she said, the next time this ever happens to me, I'll know what to do if I have to sit for 9 days. And so she woke up that day, Christmas Day, still snowed in, still so sick, and her heart breaking. And she felt at the bottom of the spiral, it was going down and down, getting just down. There was nothing left to do. And then she remembered, if she ever had to sit for 9 days again, she had said that she would learn to spin. And so she reached into all her many tools that she had already, and she pulled out some furry bean. She pulled up a composite circle chair in front of the wood stove, and she just took spindle and the whirl, and she remembered the dance her greatest beloved had showed her, and told her about the center. And in the middle of chaos, if you would just spin like the dervish, then you would find your center and find the light. And so she spun and spun and spun, and a few days had gone by. Ooh, she was starting to almost get high. She'd been spinning for so long in this chair. And so she realized she had to stop before bed because she wouldn't be able to sleep. And as she spun, she could feel her ancestors with her, showing her, teaching her all the ways and their ways. And she remembered how her teacher in Ireland had looked at her and said, "Dreamer, no, you are a weaver. Remember, you are a weaver." So she looked amongst her other tools, and she found threads and fabrics of little pieces of things she'd been picking up and collecting. And she started to put the things together. And she started to put the things together. And then she started to put her little girl together. And she built her inner child back up. And inside she put a heart, stones for courage, and all sorts of other nice things, even a little horse. And then she just wanted to keep going. And so she reached into her pot of creation, and she decided to put together the beings that had come to her in a dream. And in the dream, as she was falling into the waters and she was drowning and covered in water of emotion when a dolphin had come up between her legs in the dream and lifted her up and brought to her children. And these children, one was in the back of her amoti and she was carrying her baby on her back. When she opened the door, she was in none of it. Well, the babies had come and gone over the years. Many people lost things that were special to them. And the babies came and they went. And they went back to the stars. And she felt so connected to the other side. Sometimes she wanted to go to the other side because that's where her babies were. That's where these beings were that she felt so deeply in her womb. And so one by one she put them together. She saw their colors, their hair, their gifts, and what each one would bring to the world. One was spicy. Her name was Aroara. And she roared at front lines, and she roared at injustice, and she roared her last roar. She was very great. And there was Benjamin, who was connected to plants. And maybe he possibly hopped into her life later on as an apothecary bunny. And then there was Mercedes. Mercedes, mercy, gift of Mary, miracle, teacher of forgiveness. Mercedes, she loved very, very much. And then she also remembered the son that had come through, the beloved of her from Iran, and he was Joseph the dreamer, the coat of many colors. Oh, he probably has a magic carpet in here. And so she began to listen to them and ask them what stories they would tell. What did they want? Why did they come to her? What did they want to create in the world? And so, with the help of the star beings from the east to the west, and from the north to the south, there became a rainbow bridge from north to south and east to west. And then what happens? Well, then she remembered that if you imagine it and draw it, it could come true. So she started to draw their visions. Could you hold up that vision? There we go. And they told her of the story Caravan. And the story Caravan would be a place that would be mobile and bring to villages and forests and community centers and circles stories of cultures of healing and becoming, or undoing and becoming, and stories of moving from victim to hero. And so the caravan continued and became. And she realized that the more she gave and let the creativity come through her and gave the fire of creation away, the more it would also just come, and it was hers to just pass through her and spread around. And today I'll be given an orange lighter after giving all my lighters away. Seriously, don't worry. Give my lighters away. And I was given this. And just to remember and circle back to the story of the dream and the none of it. And maybe none of this came in the physical weavings. And they're in the dreams, but maybe the invisible is being woven. And she remembered the dream she had when she lived in the Arctic, when she first lived and worked with the children. And in the midday she'd fallen asleep, bored of the white land with no color and no trees. And then 7 bears appeared, all at each different color, and said, "Look into the white, look beyond, and you will see all the colors. And you have a place in these colors. And two bears opened up and put her in between. And she was given the color orange. And so she remembered her gifts and what she is doing on planet Earth. I think that's the end, which is only the beginning.